Okay, so here we have an Acer Aspire. Gotta open up the lid to see what model this thing is. It's not mine, so I'm gonna get that out of the way first. There we go. Okay. So it's an Acer Aspire 5570Z. This must be the most crappiest laptop I've ever seen in my entire life. Ooh, panda sticker. Anyway, it is the crappiest piece of shit I've ever seen. And it is very similar to my Acer. Like, the problems on it are very similar. And, well, they both look alike. Like, there's absolutely nothing different about them. Well, except that this one has a webcam and this one doesn't. But pretty much they both look like the same. I'm gonna set them both next to each other. Hold on. Oh, jeez. The screen just doesn't work properly. There we go. Very similar. Yeah, even the buttons are the same. So, this belongs to a customer. This thing has a damn good battery. Really wish it was mine, so I could just take the battery out and put it in that computer. This machine has an Intel Pentium dual core processor with 1.60 gigahertz, a 14-inch crystal bright LCD display, Intel Graphics Media Accelerator 950, 120 gigabyte hard drive, but this thing has a 53 gigabyte. Very weird. Mine has a 50 gig. Similarities going on here. Mine was supposed to have a 120 gigabyte hard drive, but it died, so I had to get a 50 gig. I guess the 120 died in this one, and they too had to get a 50 gig. This one has a DVD Super Multi Double Layer. That one does too, but the motherboard's kind of crapping out and doesn't work with DVD drives anymore. That's why I got this one external. 512 megabytes of DDR2 RAM. My Acer has 1 gigabyte of DDR2 RAM. So everything else on here is the same. It even comes with wireless. Front looks the same, except for when you look at mine, there's the blue output jack and a pink microphone jack. And this one has silver plating on it. Well, if I remove the silver plating on this and the microphone, there's pink and blue underneath them. The ones on mine fell off, so it makes it easier for me to know which port is which. So, let's talk about the problems that are very similar to my Acer and this Acer. Well, power button's very similar. When I got that Acer, every time when I went to go turn it on, I would have to press the power button very, very hard. And one day, I pressed it, the button snapped off and fell right inside the computer. So, had to remove that screw and that screw, pull this entire plastic cover off, shove pieces of ripped paper inside. Now the button doesn't fall in, but when I push the button, it doesn't turn it on. The only way to turn this machine on, you put your thumb like that, turns on. Just gotta put my thumb on it again, it's off. Did the same thing with mine. In order to turn this thing on and off, just have to put my thumb like that and then press, and it turns this machine on and off. Very weird. Another bad thing about this computer and my computer is the left button on the near the mouse pad. Sometimes it doesn't work, so I'll even show you. Okay, so if I'm going to open, let's say, a recycling bin, I'll bring this closer. Okay, so you see that? Watch what happens when I slam my finger down. It opens. This Acer has the exact same problem. When I go to click on something, it doesn't work. So I have to slam my finger down in order to open the program. So this Acer and that Acer both have the exact same issue. Power button and mouse. And that's it. This one has more problems than that one. Number one, there's a lot of damage, and I had to put a little duct tape on here. The owner told me that every time when you close the screen, it makes a loud creaking sound and snapping sounds. Well, I found out what the problem was. I removed every single screw on the plastic frame, pulled the frame off, and realized that the hinge, like the little clips that the screen sits on, were broken off from the hinges. And I'm like, oh great. After all that constant forward and backwardness, it just worn out on the hinges and broke off. This hinge over here doesn't work properly. When I try to close it, it refuses to move forward and backward. This hinge over here is really good. It works just fine. Just this one, doesn't work that well, and what it does is it pops the plastic piece off. So, how to fix that? There, good as new. So, that's bad. The owner also told me that there's a problem with the screen. Mother... There we go. There, I turned it on. This is all that you see. Total grayness. Watch what happens when I press on the screen. Oh, it works again. Now it doesn't. I'm going to make it brighter. That's not good. Just gotta bend the screen. It's doing the exact same thing what my Dell Latitude C640 did. Every time when I were to use it, the screen would turn into some negative color. And the only way to fix it was to bend the screen. So, obviously bending this screen fixes it. But it's not entirely the LCD's fault. On the back of the LCD, there's a circuit board that attaches like it's on the top. The inverter board is right here. But I tested the board and there's nothing wrong with it. There's a circuit board behind the LCD screen, and when you bend it, the entire screen turns back to normal. So as I bend the screen, it's actually bending the circuit board behind it, and it fixes the problem. But when you let go, the problem comes back again. So I told the owner that the laptop itself is fine. All you need to do is go out and buy a completely new screen. Like, take this entire thing off and get a new one. And they said, okay, but how much does a screen cost? And I'm like, I don't know. It depends what store is selling it and if you can even find one. It might cost a lot of money to order one from Acer and get it shipped to your house. So, yeah. I was upset to tell him that. I told him that your screen's messed up, and the hinges that attach to the metal rods that screw into the screen were broken off. So that's not good. That's bad. Oh, hold on. Metal rods are these little silver things in here, and they have screws on the side of them to keep the screen in place. Well, I'm gonna remove the duct tape, screw that. So there's the hinge, and I can see that the metal clamp right here that's attached to the screen had snapped off. It's like that on both sides. On this side, you can clearly see that the hinge is sticking out and it's not sitting in the same position as this metal thing. On this side, exact same thing, but this hinge actually works. This one looks like it's seized up or something. You can't even move. So, there, I showed you guys what I was talking about. Hopefully if you know what I am talking about. And if you guys are able to see that. So, it's fun being a redneck. I enjoy it. And I also enjoy having redneck ideas. Duct tape is a redneck idea, and crunching a paper and putting it under a power button is also a redneck idea. There. Now we're gonna hear this creaky bastard close. Come on. Come on. And I just gotta slam my hand down. There. The customer already knows that the screen's damaged and it has a problem closing, so Good thing I'm not paying for it. Besides, probably if I broke the screen, I wouldn't even have to pay for it anyway. The screen's crap. And that circuit board that's attached to the screen, I can't even remove it. It's actually, like, built right in. Like, it's not built in, like it's actually stuck to the screen, but there's very thin wires that kind of wrap around and connect to the LCD to make it show picture and stuff. So, anyway, the owner's going to pick that thing up tomorrow and hopefully go out and look for a screen. And they said if they get a brand new laptop, they might give me this one. And I can use the battery off this one. I even used it too. Took the battery out and put it in my laptop and it worked. I was able to watch 5 Family Guy episodes, and that is a damn good battery. So anyway, I'm gonna upload this video now, and we're gonna talk about this Zoe's System 386SX. Okay, see you guys later.